Okay, great. This is August what? August the 10th. So Saturday night. We just had Daryl's ribs and a really good day. Where did we go today?
We went to the Greensboro Science Museum.
That's right. And then we went to Daryl's to get something to go. And Eli, I don't know if I should say this. Give me a minute.
Redo.
No. You wanted me to roll. I rolled down the window, and the waitress came up to the car, and you panted like. Can you pant like that again? And then what did you say?
I love your food.
Then he said, "I love you."
No, I didn't.
And later on, he admitted that he said, "I love you."
No, I didn't.
But she was very cute. Okay, that's not important. Let's go on now. On July 24th, 2004, your mother and daddy got married. It's a very sad day. Christy turned 24 2 days later on July 26th. So many years later, it seemed like many years, it was 4 years later after church, we went to South Elm Street Baptist Church. We got them here for lunch, and I had a plan. Eli had a plan for your daddy. I outsmarted him. Actually, all I did was get him thinking. That's all I wanted to do, was get him to thinking. So I said, he went to Virginia Tech. He's an engineer. He's very smart. So I had a calculator down here at the end of my, at the floor here. Give me your just your phone and calculator. And I said, Christy, how old are you? She said, I'm 28. Great. That's a good age. Get the calculator. And I said, Patrick, how old are you? He said, 29. So that's a good age. I said, Patrick, and this is the key question, can you picture a 10-year-old child sitting right there? See where my finger's pointing? Can you picture a 10-year-old child sitting right there that belongs to you? And, of course, he almost choked on his baked beans or whatever it was. And I'm talking about your daddy. I said, can you see a 10-year-old child that belongs to you sitting right there? And he said, well, it was silence. Like you could have heard a pin drop. And I said, let's just say you have a 10-year-old child. And right now you're 29. 29 years old. And you're getting ready to have a birthday. So we're going to add 1. What does that make? What's 29? Well, that's right, 30. And then he started to sweat. He's sitting right here. He started to sweat. I never seen him sweat before. And I said, let's say you have that 10-year-old child. Well, you know, it takes almost a year to make one. You know what I mean? Yeah. 9 months. Yeah. And then you have to kind of, get going. It takes almost a year. I said, so what we're going to do, we're going to add 1 just because we really should. So there you're 31. Oh my gosh, he started. You can see the way he was breathing. He was breathing. And then I said, let's add 10 for that 10-year-old. I said, how old will you be then? Plus 10. And he said, 45. And when I showed him that number, he looked over at Christy like, what are you going to do about it? Well, she can't do it by herself.
She cannot make her not have a baby.
Thank you for that commentary, Mr. Nature Boy. So anyway, when I showed Patrick he'd be 45 years old with a 10-year-old child, how old will he be this November?
I
think
40.
Because Christy is Christy just turned 38.
And he's 5 years older.
38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So actually, he got a year credit. He'll be 44. 44 with a 10-year-old child. Okay, that's perfect. But who made you happen? Me and God. Me and God. Was that what you were going to say?
God and Jesus.
And who?
Why? Well, you were not pregnant.
I wasn't pregnant, but I got the man to thinking how old he would be with a 10-year-old child. I thought,
can't choose only God and Jesus can,
right?
because they're in heaven and they know the right things to do.
That is correct. But I'm the one that put the idea in his head that he wasn't a teenager anymore. Like Granny and I, we were 21 and 20 when Matt was born. That's a little young, and we weren't as smart as your parents back then about a lot of things. But Reagan, could you just hold this? What do you think about the idea that I wanted you so bad that I had to stop lunch and put a calculator in your dad's face? What do you think about that to make sure he'd start getting you going? What do you think about it?
I'm happy.
Yeah.
You're happy? And I didn't know it was going to be so great.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to have a boy or a girl. Happened to have a girl. And named her
Reagan.
Reagan. Okay, we're not going to use any last names, but named her Reagan. So, how smart was I to get that idea in your daddy's head? He was thinking about fried chicken one minute, and the next minute he's thinking about, I'm getting old. What do you think about that?
You're kind of smart.
Kind of smart. I've got my moments. Eli, what do you think about it? Hand him the microphone.
So, what?
What do you think about how smart I was to get your daddy thinking along the proper lines at that age?
Because then you came next.
You were being smart.
Thank you.
So he would have
Yeah, I did.
a boy and a girl.
That's the best part. After she was almost, what?
I was 2 because I'm 2. Then I was born.
Right. Then you were born. Then things really
Then
got...
she touched me carefully and I was skittish.
We watched that
that's good.
video just last night.
Yeah.
And you were sleeping there like this. Okay, I'll get on camera for this. And you were sleeping there like this. And Reagan, would you touch me?
No, you touched me.
That's
No,
what
like-
it was.
Yeah, he was
But
in the
anyway, it
bassinet.
was a good baby.
He
So
was in the
Granny,
bassinet.
what do you think about that great idea? Because you were in on it.
That's right. I knew you were going to do that day.
Right. We were going to do that.
Right.
We were going to have fried chicken and
Yep.
fried Patrick.
And
Fried chicken and
I
baked.
don't want that to die.
But anyway,
I was very excited,
very excited.
especially when we found out the news.
Tell her about how when we found out the news that she was expecting.
Yep. Christy, your mom, we were on our way home from the beach and your mom kept calling us, when you going to be home? When you going to be home? You're supposed to come by here. I said, okay. Then I would get 3 miles down the road, your mom would call on the phone again. How much longer before you're home? How much longer before you're going to come by here? Because we had to stop by there first. And so she called probably 4 or 5 times, and we finally made it to her house. And we sat on the couch, and then she brought a bag out. And we'll let Pawpaw tell you what was in the bag.
Well, she had a bag, and inside the bag was a wrapped up box, I think, or maybe it was just.
It's upstairs.
And it's upstairs, and it's on my bathroom wall, and it says.
It's been there 10 years.
It's been there since I found out you were on the way, and it said, "Grandpa is my hero," and it was a card, and I thought, does this mean what I think it means? They're getting another cat
Well, we told them not to have any more cats
or dogs.
or dogs.
I said, does this mean they're having a little dog? No. Then I got it right. They're having a baby. And then we thought all those months, what could the name be? And I said Lucille. And then I
Lula
said
Zula.
Bertha.
Zula Lula.
And then I said Lula Zula after our grandparents. My grandmother's name's Zula.
Mine's Lula.
Hers was Lula. And then my grandmother had a twin sister named Beulah, but they settled on Reagan. And I think that's a perfect name. So let me ask you a question. What do you think about being here, 10 years old? What grade are you starting next year?
I'm starting 5th grade.
5th grade.
Oh my goodness.
And you are, would you say the teachers like you or they think you're a dumbbell?
I think the teachers like me.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you think the teachers like me or do you think they thought I was a dumbbell?
I thought they would think you.
She doesn't want, she don't want to say. What grade did I repeat twice?
5th?
Right!
Good.
Good girl.
Yeah.
What grade are you going to repeat twice?
0 grade?
There you go. Now hand the microphone to Mr. Eli. Eli, are you going to repeat the 5th grade?
No.
Why?
I'm not going 5th grade. I'm going to 3rd grade.
But when you get to the 5th grade, are you going to be smart or are you going to be a like me?
Smart.
Smart, because you are very smart.
Yeah, you are.
He was at
5 times 5, 25.
Well, thank you very much.
And I didn't even learn that, actually. True.
Okay, he just knows you're a math genius. Okay, now let me ask you a question. What are some of the Eli? We'll go with you first. What's one of the favorite things that you do with your parents?
One of my favorite things to do with my parents is have a great time with them and play.
Okay.
And you do the what is it called?
My God.
Not the YMCA. What do you?
Y guides.
Yeah, you wear a vest.
Get
And-
badges.
And get badges. Yeah.
Get back and hand the microphone to your sister if you would.
Wait, can I just state
Oh.
the name?
Oh yeah, introduce
So
our
this
guest.
is my stuffed animal meerkat named Speed, and it has a pen for a device, and it also has a pen, and it has a bouncy ball in its hand.
And you got that where?
At the
Richard
Richard
Petty
Petty
Museum.
Museum.
We had a great time there
Yeah,
yesterday.
that's where we went yesterday. And then you got
Alright.
this at the Greensboro
No,
Natural Science Center.
the Richard Petty Museum was the pen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you got your pen.
and I got the car.
You got
And
the
the
car
ball.
too. You want to go grab the car, or do you know where it is? You can come back and sit down. Well, tell me, Reagan,
1 second.
what are some of the things that you really enjoy doing with your parents?
I like to sit on the couch with them and watch a movie and just
Watching movies.
And
Let
I
me
just
see.
like to
So
play with them.
Another one of these.
Hold
It's
on.
at the
Hold on a
house.
second.
I have another one,
Okay.
but
gave you
it's
the other
different
one,
and
remember?
it's at a house.
I gave you that.
We actually
The
got
blue-
that at the Richard Petty Museum, and
And-
it was nice.
And there was also another one that Granny bought from the Richard Petty Museum.
Yep.
And it was blue and it had 43 too, but it had a back wing and it was longer.
I like
Yeah,
Super
and
Bird.
that's when
I think it was Super
he
Bird or
started
Super
collecting
Baby.
cars. That's why I got it.
Tell me, Reagan, how many cars does he have?
I'm pretty sure it's 287.
Yep. That's how.
Matchbox and Hot
Yeah,
Wheel.
this one.
Yeah, that's.
288?
There you go.
Okay, and would you like to introduce your meerkat? You said you were going to name him.
Yep.
Well, what are you going to name him?
Minky.
I love Minky.
I
And
like
yours was what?
Speed.
speed.
Speed. Okay.
I'm smart. I have a bouncy ball in a
Well,
pen.
Reagan, let me ask you a question.
Boop, boop.
What do you like? What is your favorite subject at school? In the going into the 5th grade, what do you think you will like the best?
Science.
You didn't say.
Because we get to learn about
Sister talking.
science because we get to learn about rocks and
Put
everything.
that a little
It's fun.
closer to your face,
Yeah.
your mouth, and say what?
Science,
Uh-huh.
I would think.
You like
Science.
You like rocks. You play
Science.
rocks.
We learned about rocks a
Minerals
lot in 4th
I
grade.
remember science was a good subject for me. I remember beating up a kid before science started. That was a good day. Would you give the microphone to Eli? Eli, going into the 3rd grade, what subject do you think you're going to really do well at?
But you forgot about the dumbbell thing.
Oh,
Remember?
What grade will you be a dumbbell?
He's not.
No grade.
Thank you.
I'll be smart
Right.
for me.
And you think you'll go to college?
Yes.
What college
But
would you like to go to?
But you, well, maybe the teachers will call you a dumbbell.
Okay, maybe you could give me their names and addresses, okay?
Okay, I don't even know their name or address.
Okay, well, let's
wanna
get
go
back
to
to the
Virginia
subject.
Like your daddy?
You want to go to Virginia Tech like your geek daddy?
Virginia Tech, he's not a football player.
No, that's what.
Oh,
that's the
your
school
dad
he
went to Virginia
Yeah.
Tech. He was a good
Yeah.
student.
Yes, I
He was
went
an
to.
excellent
Okay,
student.
but let's get back to the
back to
subject before
Reagan.
our time runs out.
Go back to Reagan.
What subject do you think you'll do well at in the 3rd grade coming up?
Also, Mia, I choose science.
Okay,
Because I can, discover things.
like that shark's tooth.
Yeah.
You could just maybe someday you could discover
Tons of
what
experiments.
kind of shark that came from. To me, it looks like a mako shark, maybe. I don't know. Let me ask you this. Another question. What would you like to do, Eli, when you grow up and you're, say, that big bad age of 30? What would you like to be doing?
I would like to be in age 30. I would like to be an engineer.
That's what my dad was.
Yeah.
And what's your daddy?
Yeah.
Your
Yes.
dad is an electrical engineer, sort of. Or
I want to
he's
be
bigger. He's
no,
more
no,
of an engineer
no. Look,
than
I
just-
want to be an electrical engineer.
Right. My dad was a design engineer. He
Your dad's
designed machinery
computer,
that
yeah.
packaged food, put food in bags and cans and
Yeah,
stuff.
he made the boards.
Exactly. Why don't you give that microphone to your sister and let me ask her a question?
Okay.
All right, and let's say you're 30 years old. You've been out of college for 6 years. You'll be out of, 8. You get out of college at like 22. But you might go to medical school. You might go to, what would you like to be doing when you're 30?
I would either like to be a veterinarian or a teacher.
Right, and I know a good veterinarian. Her name is Vicki Knight. And my sister Amy was a 5th grade teacher for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Of course,
I
I was
didn't
in
know that.
5th grade for a long, long time. Yeah. Amy taught 5th grade for 34 years, I believe. That was a long. I think she taught 3rd grade for a couple of years. But let me ask you another one. What would you like to say to your parents right now